Okay, my name is Brian McNeely, and I'm from Ohio, as well as Ian. It's kind of how we know each other. I'll start you off with a little background information, and it's a 5-part speech, so I hope it doesn't take about 40 minutes, but I'll try to get through it here. Tough act to follow. Amanda did a really good job there. So basically, this all started, I transferred to Revere High School my sophomore year, so it's kind of hard to find friends at first, and I joined the men's choir in 2006, and Ian wasn't in choir yet, but this guy would come in every day and play the piano during choir, and I said, who is that guy? And she says, that's Ian Short. He's a great piano player, and you know what? I'm going to get him in this choir. And I said, all right. So Ian joined choir. I don't think he had any singing experience either. I think we were both on the same level, at least for a while. I'm pretty bad. So Ian joined choir, and that kind of began our friendship. But then he had a different class the next trimester, so we kind of veered off for a little bit there. But summer of 2007, before our senior year of high school, I remember it was a bonfire at one of our friends' house, who Ian was really good friends with, and Ian had just got his Honda Civic, and I was like, that's a sharp car. I remember, because I'm not good at parking, and he parked pretty close in front of me, and I remember saying, can you move your car, because I don't want to, hit it or anything. But I kind of think that's where our friendship really started, was that moment right there. And he was a pretty cool guy. So just, all the moments spent together throughout choir, and we were together all the time. And some of you know I'm an only child, so I never had a brother or a sister, so kind of always thought of Ian as my brother, and I know my family did too. He spent quite a bit of time at our house. Just from our senior choir trip in 2008 to Disney World, which the photo was up there, to our countless times going to Cedar Point, an amusement park in Ohio. I think one summer we went 20 times because we had season passes, so that was pretty cool. But if I wasn't at his house, he was over at my house, so we got to know each other really well. And then I decided to come out to North Dakota in 2008. I think that was pretty tough for Ian. It was tough for me leaving. And it was something I wanted to do to kind of be random, but I love the school. Kind of fast forward a little bit, I transferred back to Ohio because I had a girlfriend at the time. Obviously, that didn't work out. But now I get to the good stuff here. So Ian did his freshman year at Kent State. He liked it, but he kind of wanted to change now. And he's saying, Brian, I want to transfer colleges. And I was like, he's naming off all these random colleges. And I said, this was in July of 2009. Not lying, it was 3 a.m. in my basement. We had just gone to McDonald's and got 12 McDoubles. I had finished about 5 of them, and I think Ian finished the rest of them. And I said, you know what? Why don't you apply to the University of Mary? It was a good school. I got good friends. It would be a good start for you. And all of a sudden, he got my laptop, and he's applying. I was like, oh, he's not actually going to do it. 2 weeks later, he's accepted. I'm going to North Dakota. And I'm like, holy crap. And I got a little depressed. But 2 weeks later, he gets a letter from the University of Mary in the mail. You'll be rooming with Kent Meyer. And I said, Kent Meyer? I know Kent Meyer. He lived on the 2nd floor on top of me. I said, you'll even be even more solid. But that's kind of where I go into this bond with the groomsmen up here. This is 208, as one of the photos stated. That was the number of their dorm room, and they were kind of like a group. And when Ian got out, Kent, really set him up well. And then he met Drew and Jordan here, who were his suite mates, and they really took him in and really kind of filled that void that I was, since I wasn't there, But before I get ahead of myself on that, I'll say where this all started here. And actually, I was at work earlier this week, and I bought a cookie, and I saved half of it all crumbled up here, So I'm like, I could use that as a prop. But Ian calls me up and says, I had orientation today, and I met a girl. And he starts telling me the story. She said, she had a half a cookie, so I went up and said, can I have the rest of that cookie? And I knew that was Ian, because Ian could always talk to girls, and I never could. I said, oh yeah, what's her name? I might know her, Katie Blomberg. Katie Blomberg, she was in my English class. I don't really know her. She was really quiet. She sat in the corner, but she lived in the same house her whole life. I remember that because we said it during the name game. I'm Katie Blomberg, and I've lived in the same house my whole life. I'm Brian McNeely, and I'm from Ohio. That's all I could tell him. I said, that's how I know her, but I could really tell that he liked Katie, and when Ian commits something, he commits his whole heart to it, and I could tell it was love from the start. Which brings me to, I thank Ian, because that's why I graduated college early, because I had to get back out to North Dakota,
and that was the only way my dad was going to let me do it. He said, you need to finish school first. So I started taking classes like crazy to get out here, to spend a little bit more time with Ian, and then these great guys right here I heard so much about. Although I don't know if I got off to the right foot with Drew when I came out for spring break, because he said I smelled pretty bad, but, but we started to mesh a little bit better after that. So, yeah, I'm just going to fast forward here again. I moved out here at the end of May of 2011, and I could tell there was a lot of changes in Ian. He's really committed even more time to Katie, and I think me and Katie, I guess you could say I was jealous of her, because he was starting to take Ian from me. I could tell moment by moment, day by day, but I like Katie. She's really nice, and I was okay with it. Some days I probably got on her nerves a little bit, but that's just what I wanted to go into. There's really no best man. I don't consider myself the best man. I consider this whole group here the best man. I mean, everybody has had a major impact on Ian's life up here, not just me. And, we've all helped each other out through all the different times and different moments of our lives here. And graduated college, which is a major accomplishment and everything. So, but, they made the transition to North Dakota well for Ian, and it's just great that we have a good group of friends like that. So, and Ian, his commitment to Katie is like no other. I mean, he's really true to the heart. Any bad thing I could get Ian to try to do, he wouldn't do it. Which by Vegas was strictly gambling, and luckily somehow I came out ahead, but I shouldn't have. But anyway, I and the groomsmen here, your brothers, so I call us all brothers, wish you the very best. And I just have one request of Katie. If the Cincinnati Bengals or the Tennessee Titans ever make the Super Bowl, you gotta let me and Ian go. So, but I guess I'll just leave you guys. It's kind of my toast here with a sign that I have on my condo. Just imagine your dreams, create your happiness, and live your life. So have a wonderful life together, Mr. and Mrs. Shore, and I thank everybody for paying attention, so thank you. All right.